So we're off now into the prologue. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that most of you have been watching since the last one, so I'm not gonna explain as many mechanics this time around. If you do have questions, please let me know, and either I or the chat will answer you about these mechanics as we move into prologue with the classic jumping here to save some time. And of course we get this wonderful little dash here that's going to be used to move us through the next 7 stages or chapters quite quickly. And Bluey already taking a lead there with 0.8 seconds. That's going to definitely decide the race.
Check.
Yeah, there we go. Works fine now.
Okay.
Alright, so we're now into Chicken City. Gonna use Hypers and a bunch of wall bounces here to traverse this stage. As I said, Blueye came into this with a whopping 0.8 second lead. So, yeah. We'll see if Catnip can regain from that. Blueye doing really well here in the start, getting that reverse extended hyper there onto the top on the very first try, so really nicely there. Catnip following suit just a little bit behind here, but can still absolutely catch up.
Yeah, all the screens here are fairly short. Just introduction on all mechanics, so it can turn very quickly on this chapter.
Yeah, just like a quick little death there from Blueye, and Catnip is out just unfortunately, Catnip also Tyson that very similar, so doesn't gain too much from it. We're probably gonna see Blueye here going for the little spike, or jump there on the corner of those spikes there. So curious that we're just in that dash very nicely, utilizing the neutral wall jumps there to not lose all the stamina as he goes up that very steep little wall. And finishing off that was a very solid for Sega City there for him. Was it 1:14? That's a really good time. So good job there. Catnip also now on the last little wall climb here. Running out of stamina, yeah, he decides to go back down.
Yeah, this trick is actually very precise. We saw all the runners going for it pretty much, but it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, takes a bit to practice with the neutral wall there, but still finished up with a fairly good time of, was that about 130? 140? 145, yeah.
Yes. 145.
And Blueye now in the old side here, gonna be having some trouble here with this jump. This is also a fairly precise jump there, but he gets it there. Is it done? Decides to not go for the little cutscene skip glitch there, but he does have a bit of a lead currently, so. Coming in out to the Blueye95 section here. Of course, Blueye does all your movements exactly like you do, just with a 3-second delay. So, first couple of rooms not gonna be as dangerous, but it's gonna be a bit tricky to deal with in the later room series. Catnip now also unlocks the dream blocks here, and is moving towards Blueye at a steady pace. Ooh, Blueye missing that coin and barely avoids Blueye there. Very well done. Nicely saved from him there. Bit of an unfortunate death there on the spikes, but shouldn't lose too much time there. And Catnip is now also in the last scream here before the Blueye95, so still keeping a very good pace there. Ooh, Blueye with a bit of an unfortunate there. It dashes on top of the lock switch block instead of actually going off it, so that's an unfortunate death there.
Yeah, having Battleline clone herself means that you have to be even more careful.
Oh, Blueye actually missed that coin.
Missed the second key there. Had to be very careful and make sure to get that.
But it does get it back without having to do a reset there. Retries in that, especially in that room, can be very costly. So good for him that he managed to save that. Now in the small movement section here, where there's going to be Dreamlocks the first time around, but not the second time. So he's just going to be moving through here with some fairly precise jumps, not trying to not get stuck on too many corners and pillars here. Catnip having a bit of trouble there with that coin. So, oh, actually manages to sort of dash through, but then gets pushed back by the block into balance. That would have been a pretty amazing save, but unfortunately, not quite. Balance giving her a bit of trouble there, but gets through. And
Blueye
now in
second
the
try doing some really good job of avoiding the battle lines there.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Blueye now finishing up both side there. Catnip is... Oh, that's a really unfortunate death there in the end of that really long room. Losing a bit of time. Bumping into bad line again. Oof. Yeah, this room can be pretty costly to die in, so it's really unfortunate here for Catnip. Blueye now in the resort, the cycle selection here once again. So we're gonna see the dust bunnies moving back up, and we're also going to meet the friendly keys and locked doors again. Catnip finishing up there with the first run through that section, and now it's on the Awaken section with Dream blocks. So a little bit behind here, but still on fairly an okay old side at least. Had some very unfortunate deaths though. But... Blueye meanwhile is moving through this hotel at a fairly rapid pace there with a nice little reverse hyper dash there. Getting stuck on those blocks unfortunately though, but yeah, it is a bad line, not battle line or anything else like that. Getting a bit tired from all this talking, so I might be pronouncing the words wrong. I do apologize for that.
I could take over majority of commentary, talking if you want.
I'll manage. But
you seem to be taking the lead. But anyway, we got a huge mess now, as catcatcatcatnip is moving into the beginning of the chapter 3.
So this huge mess is indeed a huge mess to trying to navigate here with some pretty precise dash you have to do because of the amount of narrow pathways. Blueye utilizing ultra dashes there very well, gets through that first room incredibly quickly. So an ultra dash is just a hyper dash followed by a down diagonal dash, which down diagonal dashes don't have actually a cap momentum, so he can go really fast with the momentum from the hyper dash. Used in a couple places for some really fast strats later on. So Huge Mess has 3 sections. We're gonna have to go through each of them to clean up this mess that Oshiro has left for us. Oshiro, the hotel manager that we're talking to throughout this chapter, of course.
So the order in which we clean up the big mess is important. We go, I forget the actual name of the first section.
I think it's boxes.
Boxes, yes. Boxes, books, tells. Yeah. So, and that's important because of where the section spits us out at the end, and how close it is to where Oshiro is during that.
Yeah, so right there you saw as Blueye exited there, Oshiro was right there waiting for him, and we want to get to Oshiro as fast as possible to minimize movement through this quite messy section here. We're missing the cycle there. Yeah, that cycle can be quite weird, so it opts to go for the entry, because the cycles are actually different on entering the room and what's it called, and dying in the room. So for some rooms, someone is actually opted to retry right in the start to get to that cycle, but for mostly you want to get the entry cycle down as best you can. Blueye has now finished up cleaning the mess and is going to move into the elevator shaft section here in just a couple seconds here. So we might actually see him do an ultra here in the start. I'm going to have to watch and see if he does go for it. I missed get the extended part, so he has to get a normal hyper dash and go through the room the normal way. You can do an ultra there and get to the room a little bit quicker, but doesn't save too much time over just doing hyper. And Catnip now also in the huge mess section, a little bit behind here unfortunately, but he's going to start cleaning up the hotel for Mr. Zero. Ooh, Blueye getting hit by that little last penny there. That's some unfortunate cycle movement there for him, but he gets through the second try there. Going for the chain hypers there, unfortunately missing them. Going for it again, and gets it there with a little bit of haircut there from the dust bunnies. Very nicely done. Catnip going for a little spike jump there, getting it for a couple of tries. Very nicely done. And Blueye now getting into the Oshiro fight section. You want to talk a bit about Oshiro?
Sure. Considering I don't have to worry about playing against Oshiro as much. So we got this Oshiro that's charging at us because we're leaving his hotel after he wanted us to stay at it so badly. So he's angry at that, and so he's going to be chasing us, giving us a little lightning bolt as a warning of before he charges. But it's set intervals of when he charges. It can be pretty annoying for the slower runners.
Yeah, it's going to be more noticeable here when the dust bunnies also comes in, as the cycles of Oshiro and the dust bunnies can give some trouble here to the runners. Blueye could have unfortunately that there, but shouldn't matter way too much. This is the start of that room. Gets to the room very nicely, the second try round. So this last room especially, some runners actually just retry here and go for the death entry shot, but Blueye is charging ahead first with his entry cycle. Doing well so far, getting a little bit of a bonk there for good measure. And almost finishes up here with 8. That's a really good time for Resort here with a 5. I think it was a 5:46, 5:45 even. Very well done there, Blueye.
And that was very, it's very impressive. Even pausing a bit at the end there to just be safer and wait out the Oshiro cycles. So
Chocolate, yeah, he does. I believe it is a set interval, but if you like bop him, it can change it a bit. I'm pretty sure it is a set interval though. So now Golden Ridge has more new mechanics. Do you want to go ahead and talk about that so I can rest the list for it?
So yeah, we got we're gonna have this wind here, which blows us around and makes it hard to move in the direction that it's blowing from. And then we got these bubbles, which are essentially things that dash for us. And yeah, they move the same distance as the dash, and you can just you can dash out of them as well. So they're pretty useful like that. And you can also make them go in any direction. 8 directions.
Yeah, and then we'll also have Clouds in the very next room where he's probably going to do a pretty nice little strat here with an extended dash jump. Oh, just misses the Cloud though, that's pretty unfortunate, but here he goes. So, does an extended... Oh, just misses that unfortunately, but he can do an extended dash jump there. Gain a lot of height from that dash jump, and then... and skip that middle Cloud, but he doesn't quite get it, unfortunately. And there you see him losing a lot of neutral wall jumps there to get up that wall. Since the wind is pushing you, and you can actually neutral wall jump quite a lot there. And Catnip is now about to head into the Oshiro section as well in the last room before it. Yeah, these wall bounces giving Blueye a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to line up that second wall bounce correctly.
Yeah, it can definitely be.
And we're gonna see potentially him doing a bit of an auto-scroller skip here. And a bit low on that dash. So using the momentum that the direction block is giving us by pushing us forward, and then combining that with a hyper dash, so that we can close that distance.
Yeah, Blue actually does a slightly trickier method of that auto skip, but it's a little bit faster, where you actually hyper dash and then bunny hop immediately after to keep the momentum. Normally, you could also do just a extended hyper dash at the end of it, so that's still very well done to get that second try from. Catnip now in about the middle of the Oshiro fight, has a couple of minutes left to go here before going into Golden Ridge as well.
Ooh, so a bit late on that dash there, this little line of refresh crystals that we have.
So Blueye is now into, or going to very soon go into the harsh wind section here, where you're basically not going to be able to walk, and you have to utilize your speed tech a lot more than normally. the wind pushes you so much that you can basically move just a couple of pixels per second. So utilizing hyper dashes is going to be vital here. Also looks like...
Oh, nicely done. Getting ahead of
yeah.
that block. That's actually really precise to be able to do that.
That was very nice done there. Catnip seeming to have some trouble here in the last room of a sheriff fight, getting bonked there on the little pillar. Oh no, gets killed at the very, very end. That's so unfortunate.
That is...
Oh.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah. This room is... Oh, Blueye also getting knocked by that little snowball there at the very end. We haven't actually talked about snowballs, but they act sort of like a Shiro, but comes from the other way and doesn't give any warnings. So they can be quite dangerous as well. But now Catnip finishing up chapter 3 there. And Blueye is about on the last room now of the Golden Ridge here.
Got this long screen where we have wind pushing us forward.
How nice of it. And now we're moving into the Mirror Temple here for Blueye. Even more mechanics are coming our way with some dash blocks that move when we dash, some red bubbles that act like the green bubbles from chapter 4, but move infinitely until you either hit a wall or you dash out them. And we'll also meet some new friends a bit later that we all know and love.
So yeah, attempting to do a bit of a reverse hyper there, which is makes that a lot easier than just doing a regular extended hyper. But it is a hard thing to do without a wall next to you to help you reverse your direction.
Ooh, Blueye's gonna go for this little using momentum from the dash block. Oh, he actually gets it, and he gets the corner boost, but just barely bumps into. Wow, that was so unfortunate. So
got a bit too high.
If you get that really right, you can actually skip that entire room that with the one moving dash block. Still a really nice show there from Blueye, actually getting that on the second or third dash, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, so unfortunately you gotta be prepared to get the corner boost, because then if you're holding grab, you'll just grab onto the corner on the top. But unfortunately was not able to react in time, not expecting to get that corner boost.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of runners go for this track, because it's unless you get it very consistently, it can be a lot slower. So good on Blueye there for giving us a bit of a show. Now we're gonna meet our new friends. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, now we're meeting our the Seekers, which we are now going to be take control of and go eat ourselves with. Introducing a bit of the mechanics of that it has this charge ability, and that it runs into these red blocks, and then also there are parts that Seekers can't go into. But the real important part is that they will track you on the screen and charge at you once they find you, and it can be very annoying. They can also pick up keys for you, or the coins that will move the block, so that can be very useful.
Yeah, so we'll see the runners manipulating them to do that for them, so that they don't have to run around quite as much, because running is getting tiring at this point.
I believe the last Seeker Dash is done for you if you're close enough. It's kind of weird. It does
when you are the Seeker, you mean?
Kill yourself. Yeah, during the little cutscene, when you're controlling when you
yeah,
are the Seeker.
It definitely does. I've had it happen a lot, so definitely. Catnip now about to head into the harsh wind section here. So we'll see how that goes. And Blueye is right in the unraveling section here. Very nice down there. Oh, doesn't actually get the... you normally would get the Seeker there to hit that little coin, but misses that unfortunately. But so it's going through... Wait, is Seeker stuck there? Huh, I haven't seen that happen before.
That was kind of nice.
Huh, actually got the Seeker stuck there, so you don't have to worry about it for the entire room. Very nicely done. Not sure if that was on purpose or not, but That helped him out a lot, I think.
I don't think it was.
Coming up now, Surge Skip, gonna save him about 1 to 2 minutes with just a simple reverse extended dash jump there. Skip planning to like a couple of keys and then taking a red bubble for a bit. Not sure if I would qualify that as a glitch. It's probably more like the AI don't really knowing where they should go, so just sort of stay in place trying to move towards him. But yeah. I call it an interesting use of game mechanics. And Blueye now
More
coming
like an
up to...
exploit, if anything.
Perhaps. But Blueye now coming into the Theo section here. Theo is notorious for being sort of hard to move with, because you can't actually dash with him. But you can dash before you pick him up and then carry the momentum through. So we'll see that used extensively here, especially by Blueye.
Also, the thing that people, I don't think I've ever mentioned really, is that he's pretty good at hitting switches. If you're carrying him, you automatically press down the switch. You do not need to dash into it. And you do also have the ability to just throw him at the switch, and it will push it automatically if he lands on it.
Catnip now also has finished up Golden Ridge and going into Mirror Temple here. So it's about 5 minutes behind at this point. It's gonna be a bit tricky to catch up, but of course nothing is impossible with the next couple of sections here being some of the most punishing, or just the most punishing in the game. So we'll see how Blueye does. Very nicely done there, using the momentum from that dash block to get some height there. Catnip missing that key skip just a little bit with that wave dash. Needs to dash just a little bit sooner, unfortunately. But hopefully, we'll see. We get it now. Oh, Blueye throwing Theo just in the wrong direction. Blueye threw Theo in the wrong direction there for a little bit, which is unfortunate. In the very, very last room here of Mirror Temple, where the pulses from this giant eye in the end are gonna be quite annoying to deal with, but gets through. Oh, just misses Theo with a couple pixels. No!
Theo does not want to cooperate. Did not want to hit that eye.
Finishes there with a 542, I think. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. 542, I think. Pretty good time for Temple there. As he's going into Reflection now. So I'm going to go ahead and explain the mechanics now.
So, sure. So starting out in Reflection, we got these feathers, which we can move in any direction with them. It's actually, if you're using joystick, it might even be easier for you to control them than for someone using a D-pad, because you got all the degrees of movement. And then occasionally we'll have bubbles around the feathers, which you have to dash into the feather in order to refresh the feather, or pick it up, in general. And immediately into Lake Skip, I didn't even have time to explain that. So going into a wall bounce in the water into another use of the spike hitbox. And so that was insanely fast.
Now, Blueye using... Did you talk about Kevin blocks? Troy? Okay, I'm gonna assume that Troy didn't talk about Kevin blocks. So these blocks move in the direction where you punch them or dash into them, basically. Called Kevin blocks because of the man that did the sound, Kevin from Power Up Audio. What a lovely man to do those always for us.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the thing with feathers and their movement is that if your turns are small enough, then you'll actually carry more speed as well, which is probably the biggest reason that the digital controls can be quite disadvantageous. This can have a disadvantage when doing feathers, more than just the actual movement.
Okay, we got catcatcatcatnip going through the secret section now.
Oop, bumping into a couple of bumpers there on the way.
It's a bit unfortunate, but he's through now.
So the bumpers also have the interesting mechanic of when you hold away, if you hold away on from them when you on the frame you hit them. Sorry, you'll go about twice as fast. It can be used in the room that, or about 2 rooms ago for Blue Eye, but he did miss it unfortunately.
Yeah, he
doesn't
was
have
not
that
able
much of a usage otherwise.
But I believe, I guess you were not here for it, but he got a really quick leg skip, by the way.
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still.
Don't worry about it.
It was, yeah, I'm gushing over that. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, Blue Eye seems to be pretty good at leg skip actually, which is kind of surprising.
It was a completely blink and you miss it sort of thing, which actually happened for me. I just had to assume it happened because I didn't hear no Kevin block, and I saw that he was not in the lake anymore. Okay, so now we're on to the last part before the battle line fight, where we're going to be using the momentum of this block to get us a lot of distance. Unfortunately, getting caught in this corner, so not able to get all the way through that tunnel.
Yeah, so you can actually get enough speed to just get straight through the tunnel and also keep it through the cutscene and just bonk straight into battle line after that. But fortunately, gets caught a bit, but still gets quite a lot of speed there. So.
There's Catnip getting the search skip.
Well done there. So the balance section doesn't really have new mechanics, but it does have a lot of pretty cool fast strats here. And since when you hit battle line, you actually get your dash back. So most of the time, you're gonna see Blue Eye and Catnip later going down to the ground as fast as possible to be able to use move attack. But in a couple of rooms later, it's gonna be basically impossible because of the very tall rooms that are gonna be. Ooh, unfortunate death there from Blue Eye getting hit by that ball. So Badline does have 2 different attacks. He has balls that she sends out either in waves of 1 or 2, and then also this laser attack here. Both of which can be annoying to deal with in their own ways.
Yeah, laser can be kind of difficult to avoid, especially when you have a feather. It doesn't seem as difficult because you have this warning from it, but it actually can be pretty annoying. Especially with feather when you're moving in a horizontal pattern and it fires horizontally at you.
Now Blue Eye has unlocked Badline's through evil form here, where she just gains telekinesis for absolutely no reason. So she's gonna start moving the ground around herself for a little bit here. And Cat now in the last couple of rooms here of Mirror Temple, about to go into Reflection as well.
Seems to be taking a safer high route here so that you can manipulate Seeker and not have to worry about him as much, but ends up getting that Seeker actually follows him through.
Yeah, it's
Seeker
really
not having it. Oh.
Yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble here with the Seeker. Not really doing what he wants him to do, but okay, that was scary. But he got
well
through.
Done.
Gets to the Enemy Temple. Blue Eye here in the final room of the battle fight gets it very well done there, and it's about to finish here with a what's looking to be a solid time if you can get past that dreadful corner there. And Blue Eye now is leveled up, so he gets the second dash, and of course the pink hair that everyone knows and loves.
Yeah, so we got 2 dashes, and we'll be able to use those to our advantage, getting like 2 wall bounces in midair, or being able to hyper a bunch and doing ultras into ultras. It's been fun.
Yeah. So we're coming up to summit here, which is going to be the recollection of all the chapters that we've gone through so far. I'm going to start with the reflection-looking area at the bottom of the mountain, then working our way through chapters 1 through 5, and finally ending up at the very summit, which is the name of the chapter. How convenient.
Okay, catcatcatcatnip deciding to not do lake skip, just gonna do the easier strata of what is intended, which actually is not that huge of a time loss. It's just about 2 seconds, I think.
I think it's 4.
Okay.
So I think like if you can do it about 2 or 3 tries without dying, or like 1 or 2 with dying, for it to actually be worth it. So if you're not consistent enough, just skipping it is for the best usually.
Okay.
Blueye is now finished up with the was that the 0 meter section? Yeah, going into the 500 meter section, which is the 4-second city part here. So we're actually gonna see these zip blocks in use for once. In chapter 1, there are a lot of zip blocks, but we skip a huge majority of them because they're fairly slow. But here we actually need them for some extra height.
Okay, into the final section of 500 meters. Just some orbs and we'll be out of here.
So we didn't mention also, but at the end of all these sub-chapters here, Battleline is going to come and help us boost to the next chapter, so you're going to have to catch all the orbs, or let Battleline catch you in the orbs, or however you want to put that.
Yeah,
Captain's
it's okay
now
to...
so.
It's okay to go to Battleline now, we're friends.
Yeah, after punching her in the face a whole lot, she realized that we're actually fairly good people, so she's ready to help us climb the mountain now.
Violence is the answer, guys.
Life lessons here on the Celeste Any Tournament.
Absolutely.
I really love watching the section that Blueye is in right now. It has a lot of really cool movement with these green blocks, so it's the most satisfying thing I know to actually, what's it called, to actually nail down. Now, Blueye in the 1500 meter section, the part that's usually seen as the hardest here, has a lot of pretty tight cycles and some fairly both cool and hard strats coming up in a couple later rooms. Definitely the part that gave me the most trouble as a new runner, and I think a lot of runners will feel the same way. And Catnip now moving on to the Battleline chase sequence here before the extra fight. Blueye getting that ultra strat down first try, incredibly nicely done for him there. Wow. And having a bit of trouble here in the room directly after instead.
Yeah, it's such a simple room now, and
You
funny how you
win
can
some and
have...
you lose some, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how you can get the hard strats and then immediately fail on the easy ones.
This is the last couple rooms here, going in here to the Battleline section, and then going to 2000 meter, the 2000 meter section. It's actually on fairly good pace, and depending on how this summit goes, we could see a PB here from Blueye. He's doing really well so far. And Catnip now maybe actually going for the Battleline boost here, let's see. Sort of, but doesn't get quite enough speed, unfortunately. Also in the Battleline fight now.
And Blueye taking the that is the strat that we have found that it's actually the faster path, even though it is not the actual like intended route. That is a hidden area that you find. And potentially going to see an auto-scroller skip here from Blueye. Yep, going for it, gets that hyper.
So Blueye currently, at least on the leaderboards, he has a 38.45. I'm not sure if he's gotten a new PB since then, but that's what I'm going after, saying that he's able to get a PB.
This is looking really good then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, again, that other, a bit of a smaller skip there, beginning at the wall bounce before the block gets all the way up. Oh! Tried to get a bit risky there with that dash. Does it a bit too early, though. And now into the final section of 2500. Or, sorry, 2000. Why am I mixing up sections?
Good question. So now in my favorite part of the run here, the 2500 meter section. A lot of cool strats, a lot of cool little skips here and there as soon as we actually get into the temple here. So be sure to keep an eye for that. Gets that little corner boost there really nicely on from Blueye.
Yeah, he got the corner boost on the first try as well, but it seemed like he wasn't ready for it almost, and he just went flying in the wrong direction.
But he does get it and lives the second play round. Here comes the little key skip here with a couple of having some trouble actually getting up there, but there we go. A couple of wall jumps here to get up to the key without having to use a red bubble from below. Having a bit of trouble here with the key skip though, so we'll see him getting it soon, hopefully.
Yes, a little small portion of the wall where the spike doesn't exist and jumping off of that. Gonna go try for the setup there. I guess he's more used to. Yeah, he's more used to being able to get it from the screen transition.
And catnip there in the second part now of the battling fight, so still on fairly good pace. Heading into the last part here. And Blueye now. Oof. Gets killed there. Goes for that little tight squeeze there. Very nicely done. Let's see if he goes for Rose. He doesn't go for Rose skip. He decides to play it safe. But still misses the switch. That's very unfortunate.
Gets punished for not respecting the door skip.
So I guess through the room though. Now moving into the last section here of 2500. He is on very good pace actually. He has about what's that? 4 minutes 20 seconds from now to actually PB. So this could very well be a personal best here for Blueye.
And catcatcatcatnip going into the last room of the battle line fight. As Blueye is entering 3,000 meters, so he's got the final 30 flags, and then he will be out of here.
What the hell was that save by catnip? Jumps on like the little part before the what the heck? That was an impressive save by catnip.
I was watching Blueye's screen there actually, so I was not able to catch that.
If someone sees that, please clip it and send it so that Troy can watch that. That was a really nice save by catnip. But anyway, Blueye now in the down rep section here. Gonna have to work with his wall bounces and upward dashes overall to be able to traverse this section here. He is on incredibly good pace here for a PB, so would not be surprised to see him. Ooh, unfortunate death there from... a couple of unfortunate death there's from Blueye. Here we go. Heading into this little tunnel of refresh crystals. I think Blueye is getting a little bit... It seems like he's getting a little bit nervous and playing a little bit safer now. Probably realizing that he's on fairly good PB pace. So, hopefully the nerves doesn't get to him. Catnip now also in the 0 meter section here. I believe Catnip is also on fairly good PB pace actually.
Well, he's also at the 38-minute mark for his time, I believe. Or 39-minute, something.
Thanks for the clips, guys. Perfect. So yeah, catnip passes 52, so we could very well be seeing a double PB in this run. Hopefully, depending on a little bit how this goes for Blueye here, because it's been a little bit slow here. He still has a couple minutes here left to PB.
Okay, so I just went back to watch that. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought it would just be quick. I'd be able to watch it one time over, but then I had to keep replaying. I'm like, wait, what did he do? So, sorry about that.
So we have Blueye here. He has about a minute and a half here left to PB as he's coming up on these last 5 little checkpoints here. Hopefully the nerfs aren't getting into him at this point, because these can be some kind of tricky rooms here, or checkpoints, sorry. So, okay, Captain made a 48 earlier, right?
48.
Okay, so it'll be a bit tricky there to PB, but still could be possible if she does this well enough. Okay, 2 checkpoints left. He does have a whole minute left to PB. Just a little bit safe there. Doesn't want to rush, and this is gets a death there on the first checkpoint though.
Yes, on the final flag.
Going up the mountain here for the very last time. Do not retry before skipping the cutscene. There we go. He gets a PB and wins the race there with a 38.08. Very well done from Blueye.
PBing by about 40 seconds there.
Yeah. Big congrats to him there.
So now switching our attention to catcatcatcatnip on the 1,000 meter section here.
Ooh, I think that's there.
Yeah, so you don't want to diagonal dash into walls, except in that one case right there where you're able to dash between in between 2 blocks, so that it thinks that you're continuously in a dream block the whole time.
All right, and we do have Blueye here for a quick interview here. Welcome, Blueye, and congratulations on both winning the race and getting that really nice PB. That was an incredibly solid run from you.
Thanks. I achieved a few goals here that I set out for myself, which was sub 6 resort and sub 7 reflection.
Yeah, you did have some really nice movement. You even got lake skip there first try, which is really nice to see. I'm not sure how consistent you are with that, because it seems like you go for it quite a lot, if I remember right.
Yeah, I tend to not go it when I'm on PB pace, but I felt like doing it. I got a bunch of skips I'm not that consistent with either, like the crush block right after, where you get that falling block to fall before he hits it. I never get that, actually, and I somehow got it here.
Yeah, that was very well done. So, I'm assuming it was a gold... sorry, gold resort and reflection then, yeah?
Yes, on both. Reflection and golded by 50 seconds, and that's time save.
That's
very well done.
Yeah. And felt bad dying on flag 1. I might have been...
I was like, what's it called? Just holding my breath that you wouldn't actually retry in the end there, because
yeah,
that was a bit unfortunate.
Might have been sub 38, but that was like half a second slower than my fastest summit, so I'm very happy with it.
Really good. And unfortunately now that means that you have a better time than me, so I'm gonna have to beat that tomorrow.
Exactly. Can't let you pass me that easily. Come on now. So yeah.
Well, I'll have my work cut out for me. So we're seeing Eric Catnip just finishing, trying to finish up here with the 2,000 meter section as well. I think it's gonna be a bit harder here for Cat to actually PB, but Still gonna have a solid time here. So how's your group going? Do you have any more matches coming up soon, Blueye?
I think I have 3 white matches next weekend, because
Alright.
I am actually going away for 4 days, so I had to schedule around that.
Alright.
So I think I have
Got
2
on,
on the Saturday and 1 on Sunday, if memory serves.
So are you going on like a vacation or something, or?
Yeah, after that I'm going to China for 3 weeks, so
Oh wow. Well, enjoy that.
I'll become
Um,
rusty probably, but will be fun.
Perfect for me to catch up.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your vacation then, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you in more of this soon.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Well, I do stream quite regularly, so if you could follow that I would appreciate it a lot. And other than that, thanks for doing the commentary, and until our next race.
Yeah, our pleasure. Congrats again on the PV and the win. So we'll be seeing you soon.
Yes.
Okay, so link to Blueye's stream there in the chat. So be sure to give him a nice little follow and support the Celeste community, because it's going to be a cool little future here for us. As Catnip now is on the last stream here of the 2500 meter section, or 2000 meter section. So we still have a little bit to go. So we're just gonna quickly go through what we have coming up here. So right after this race ends, we are going to have a race between Blueye and Co-op Master. So you be sure to stick around for that. And then a couple of hours after that, we have another double race. And then in the morning here at 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. we have races, one involving me. So if you for some reason want to see that, then I'll be on 2 a.m. EDT versus Semantics. And then we have Oddbod versus 4i Steven after that. And of course we have just a ton of races going on throughout the entirety of this weekend, and probably mostly throughout the month here, as we're getting through these group stages in this tournament here.
Yeah, so still have a bunch of games going on the Celeste tournament, so be sure to keep looking at that Celeste schedule and seeing when we have new races coming up. You can actually, if you go to that link right now, it is loaded. It's got like 2 or 3 pages worth of matches scheduled on there.
Yeah, there's the links for you if you want to check it out. Kind of getting geese skipped there very nicely as well. Going into the last couple rooms here of 2400 meters.
And yes, that is right, Dara Windor. There'll be a race on here as soon as this one's over. We will not have time to interview Catnip because we will go right into the next race. Neither of us are commentating that. I believe it's got GD Tog and Cookie Apocalypse joining you guys to take over for us.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was going to say, so never mind.
Cool. I'll also say playing in the race is Blueye versus Crobat Master.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They actually saw Kevin going for and getting door skip first right there, so it was very, very nice. So, after Blueye's unfortunate skip of the door skip. So yeah, if I'm right, Cadmium had a 48 as a PB, so it doesn't really look like a PB pace here, unfortunately, but it's still going to be a fairly solid time, so...
I mean, you are able to get through this section in about 2 minutes optimally, so it could be possible, but it's not seeming likely here.
2 minutes, really? Are you sure about that?
I believe you can.
Perhaps. Yeah, even if Catnip doesn't get a PB, it will still matter if he or she does get through to the group stages, as the average time that you get will determine your seeding for the brackets. So still want to get a good time if you can. Yeah, that's a G, thanks.
Okay, able to save it by waiting for that crumble blocks to respawn and regain his dashes. Good save there.
And now the after section here, we didn't really talk that much about it, but these have some really, really punishing checkpoints here because of some kind of tricky jumps in the end of these sections. And of course, they are quite long, so deaths there can be costly and are semi-common still, unfortunately. But gets to the first one very nicely there, and another one here, and then directly 13-1, which is probably the sort of most annoying one here. Has a pretty tight little dash between spikes here at the very end. Yeah, this dash coming up right here. Oh!
Oh!
And does get hit by the spikes, unfortunately. That's tough. That's the wrong way there, but gets back and saves it. Very nicely done. Yeah, PB is unfortunately not going to happen at this point, but we can still get a fairly good time here to help her with the seed if she does get through to the bracket. So. Just 11 checkpoints left here, so we're going to finish up very soonly. And remember, just stay tuned directly after us. We do have a race coming up immediately when this when catcatcatcatnip finishes getting to the top of this mountain.
Able to recover and get the dashes back with the spring there. Good job there. And decides to take the flag on takes flag number 8, which most people skip, but it's okay to take that right now. Trying to play it safe, make sure that you actually finish the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And I lost my third thought again.
Doesn't matter too much.
Catnip has been doing a really good job of actually like incorporating different saves throughout the race, being very well at reacting to some mistakes that has happened. So, very big props to her for that.
So we're getting very close to the end here. Oh, running
unfortunately, flying straight into those spikes. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, this section can be a bit tricky to navigate here. Just a lot of spikes everywhere that just wants nothing else than to just murder you just a little bit. Oh, no. That's spikes again. That's...
It's got to get out of flag number 3. Come on.
Third time's a charm, does get through it. Moving on to flag 2 here. Oh, unfortunately misses that little dash at the end. Let's retry. There we go, get the second time though. And it's now on the home stretch here. Finishing up with it.
Yeah, quite though, because we got to make sure that we do not hit retry instead of skip cutscene because they're the same inputs.
Hold your breaths. And finish.
We are fine. Okay.
Alright, so 50-26 there from Catnip. Still a fairly good race. And we don't have time for much more now because we're going to have the next race going on, or starting like basically right now. So we're going to hand it over here to Cookie Apocalypse and GD Tog for the next race. It's been great. Been commentating with you, Troy. Congrats to the runners for a great race, and I will see you guys later.
Yep, see you guys. I drop links for follows if you want to follow us. Bye.